Hello, all. How are you? I want to talk today about the rise of authoritarianism and how it impacts our world in the modern day. Authoritarian regimes are basically diet fascist regimes, but they are not like Nazi Germany. They are not even all to the degree that Russia is at. Many of them, and how it could happen here in America, will operate in the way that the country of Hungary does under Prime Minister Viktor Orban. He won the 2010 election, and his party was able to gain a two-thirds majority of the parliament, using the fear and the anger of the 2008 global recession that hit their country just as hard as ours. They were able to win. Since then, the slow erosion of democracy has begun. Now, keep in mind, the most vital part of modern-day authoritarian regimes is the illusion of democracy. In their elections, votes are still counted for the most part accurately. The caveat is, if you're an opponent of Viktor Orban, good luck getting any airtime. The government owns most of the state media. For the very few they do not own, the message is clear. Be friends with the president, because they pressured the independent media with taxes and regulations to sell themselves to the government. The ones that did not went bankrupt. On top of that, the courts, with their constitutional supermajority, they amended the Constitution. They expanded the seats on the Constitutional Court and added an age limit of 62. Viktor Orban was able to fill those new seats and the vacated ones with people who were friendly to his regime and would look the other way as he committed constitutional crimes. On top of that, and this will sound familiar to Americans, they extreme gerrymandered their parliamentary districts. Extreme. Making it nearly impossible to win if you're not of the president's party. Now, on top of that, they've also created fake political parties to be active during election season. So let's say I'm running for a parliamentary seat against somebody within Viktor Orban's party, and it's a competitive district. They will throw somebody in there with like-minded points of views of mine and divide the vote, the liberal vote. And therefore, Viktor Orban's man sneaks by with the victory. I want to touch upon, too, what they do to businesses and corporations. Like I said, they do to the media. They also do to corporations. You have two options. Three, really. You have either A, remain quiet and don't talk bad about the president. B, you support him. Or C, you speak out against him, and suddenly there's a safety and health audit at your company's building by the government, and they find violations, and for the safety of the people, you get shut down. So much for that. And then that leads to what curtails opposition, because the only people who can now get big money donors are people of the Prime Minister's party. And there's another thing we should touch upon. Only 5.2% of Hungary's population are immigrants. Yet, till this day, and in this most recent election, okay, these studies are from Vox, and the article is going to be in the link here, okay. 56% of Hungarians found migration to be a top issue. 72% fear or have negative views about Muslims. He is using xenophobic language to stoke fear in the people. Okay, there is no way to oppose him. The resources are not there. The organization is not there. and he uses Christianity to unite his base. He calls himself he calls his country a Christian democracy, an illiberal Christian democracy. He's built fences. Since 2015, he has been working on fences across the borders of his country in order to keep out refugees. Does this sound familiar to you? The assault on the free press have been ongoing. He's attacked the European Union time and again, and the West, and the Western culture as being an enemy to Hungarians. The point is it can happen here, and it will happen here. In Hungary, it's less about trying to punish the innocent, and it's more about protecting the guilty. Most of the opportunity and the wealth goes to the richest of the rich that support the government, while everyone else is kept just content enough. They still have a free and open internet in that country. Their internet is free. You, as the ordinary person, if you're not a TV reporter, if you're not a businessman, if you want to go out and shout, you think Viktor Orban sucks, you have every right to. There were just anti-Orban protests. Thousands of people showed up. And you know what happened? Nobody went to prison. Because that's how it works today. You have the illusion of democracy. You still have the right to free speech. You could even leave the country if you don't like it. Take your money with you. But good luck trying to vote him out of office, or anybody that is with him in the elections, because they've rigged the game to make sure that no matter what happens, they win. And I'm going to give you one last little number here. In the 2018 Hungarian elections, Viktor Orban's party only got 49% of the vote, yet they still held on to their two-thirds supermajority. I think I've said all I need to say. It can happen here in America, and it is happening now. Most of those things I mentioned are things Trump is in the process of trying to do. We see it, you see it. Let's do something about it. Take peaceful action. Get politically involved. Thank you, and have a good night.